What I like doing is bringing our community together, and together with our community, the strength that comes from everybody having the aggregate knowledge of stuff that works and even the stuff that doesn't work benefits the whole community. So I want to thank Mazi and the OpenFin team for bringing us as a community together. Since this is a thought leadership talk, and my screen, so we're going to have a little bit of tech challenges at a tech conference. There we go. But what is this? Let's start from the beginning. One of the applications I'm particularly good at is PowerPoint. Okay, so this is a thought leadership talk. I actually wanted to, I thought, if you're going to do a thought leadership talk, then you need to get people who are good thinkers and also good leaders. And one of the people that inspires me in that way is somebody named Kim Prado. Anybody in the room know Kim Prado? So we are huge fans of RBC. They are certainly thought leaders. And a lot of what we do is informed by the great ideas that our customers have. And so what I want to show you today is some of what that thinking is and what we've heard from a number of our customers. And now, there we go. So but before I get started, for those that don't know Tier1, I thought I'd actually share a little bit of a background in us. I started Tier1 in 2008. So we're a 12-year startup. And what being a startup means, it means being agile, responsive, and constantly investing in technology. But I started the company with a few core values and goals. And the first thing is the concept that capital markets is highly specialized. And I dare say, certainly all the people that were whooping it up for Kim, capital markets is a type A world. It's real time. And so when I started Tier1, it started with a recognition that you have to populate a company if you want to be in the capital market space that are type A and also understand the industry. And that's exactly what we did. And I know that Mazi, and part of the reason why we get along so well with Mazi and the OpenFin team is because they are also type A, and they're also in the capital market space, and they came from capital markets. So there's like a secret handshake and a secret club. So my second thing was you can't do everything yourself. And so we built an ecosystem of innovation partners. I had to make a choice when I built Tier1 on what I was going to build a platform on. And my thought at that time turned out to be a brilliant move. It's kind of like if you bought Tesla, I think it was last June. The investment I made was in Salesforce. Salesforce is the most scalable, secure platform in the world. And we proudly are a Salesforce partner. Beyond Salesforce, we have other ecosystem of partners, and we'll talk a little bit about them in a moment. The next is the concept of multi-track innovation. So building a product, if you doing it all yourself is really not the way forward. So we built a series of partnerships, but part of the partnership ecosystem of Tier1 is actually our customers themselves. So the combination of what we do, Tier1 as capital markets capabilities on the Salesforce platform, together with our partners and together with our clients themselves who add their own secret sauce equals something that is unique, special, and creates a competitive advantage for our customers. And the final thing that was important as far as like the DNA of the company is the concept of security. Capital markets grade security, as I call it, is not easy to achieve in general, which is why there's generally so many silos of CRM systems, even in a capital markets firm. Kim might talk about just how many we consolidated into one system at RBC. But for me, in the beginning, it was self-evident that we wanted to create a platform that leveraged every part of the Salesforce security capability and encryption and scalability, et cetera, but also extend that with the specific security requirements that exist in capital market space. So just, you probably read all this by now, but I'm very proud of our customer base, which is approaching 20,000 users. It makes us the biggest capital market CRM company in the world. We include 6 of the global top 20 and a huge spectrum from everywhere from really small boutique research firms and banks to the mid-market or Midwest, for example, banks, commercial banks, and investment banks. And I'm proud to say that last year we signed the last of the top 6 Canadian banks as one of our customers. So we're a fast growth company, and actually grew the company organically from the beginning. And I think there's something, when I said that we've been around since 2008 and you see these numbers, whether you're judging me as high or low on what it should be at this point. But I think creating great software takes time, and you learn from everything that happens over the years. And so a few years ago, Wavecrest, which is a private equity firm, together with MassMutual and Salesforce Ventures, put their faith in us to accelerate our growth. And that has resulted in acceleration in quite a few different areas, but especially our customers get to benefit from that. Okay, so I talked a bit about partners, so I just want to share, some of the partners that we see all the time, and this is like free advertising for those that, some of the partners that aren't here, but quite a few that are. And these are integrations or connectors that we've already built and are in production with a number of our customers. Just in particular, obviously we're here for OpenFin. OpenFin is a really exciting part of our vision of what good looks like, and I'm going to talk a little bit about that. We have product partners, data partners, and system integration partners that help us to deploy and support our customers, and here's a few of them. We also built an e-learning academy last year for learning more about Tier1, and anybody who is a Tier1 customer or if you're a Tier1 partner can access that e-learning academy and learn more about Tier1, which is part of our plan for world domination. And we do have plans for world domination. I am a Canadian, but that doesn't mean that we have to be humble and ambitious, as I've found. And I think a lot of great software companies come from Canada. So let's talk about some key trends. So this is the thought leadership slide. And really, what do I hear on a recurring basis? So the first thing I want to talk about is the firm-wide client view, which is previously not thought possible, but I can assure you, because we've done it, and we've done it with RBC, among other of our bigger customers and even smaller ones, that a firm-wide view is not only possible, it's also highly desirable. And there's a lot of advantages. I'm not sure if Kim will talk about that, but from our own observation, the business benefits of that is the concept of delivering the whole firm. So if you have a coverage model and you have different people on different desks, even working in different geographies around the world, that together can see the relationship that your firm has at the bank, whether it's on the investment banking side or sales and trading, one of the asset classes, and can see the relationship with the customer, who owns it, how much business are you doing, where are the white spaces and opportunities. It's a lot easier to do that all when everything is on the same core than to try to move data around between systems and try to synchronize them and try to build an entitlements model and a security engine that is somehow trying to keep it all in sync. It's kind of self-evident, actually, now that we've done it, that it's a lot easier if you are updating information, that you don't have to start pushing it around into different systems, that actually everything is the same. Think about the client, think about the contact, think about their entitlements, think about your staff entitlements and what they can see, and as they move coverage and all that sort of stuff, it's a lot easier when everything is built on the same common base. The second is client analytics and data sciences. This was a twinkle in the eye of a lot of our firms a few years ago. Everybody was trying to be buzzword compliant on artificial intelligence, machine learning. Green Key is here tonight. They're doing some really cool stuff with natural language processing around text on voice as well as unstructured data. And there's a number of other customers that we have that are implementing their own AI programs around things like next best call, for example, next best action. So this is a huge trend right now with our customers. And I think if you're not investing in AI and you are a bank, you're going to get left behind. The next is the concept that multi-track innovation is the way forward. I think that the trend that banks and some of our bigger customers would build software on a platform from scratch and build and maintain the whole thing themselves, that is a dinosaur. That's going away. People actually want to buy products and extend them with that multi-track innovation concept that I talked about before than to try to do it all from the ground up themselves. The next is third-party data. This used to be like a phase 2, a phase 3, a phase 4 on our projects. It's becoming phase 1 with a lot of our customers because it's really difficult. I'm in the CRM business, and one of the things that really delays the go live of any project is trying to get from the soup of, I kind of picture a gigantic vat of soup with a bunch of peas in it, and some of them are duplicates, and trying to pick them all out, than to actually put in a clean set. I don't know if my soup analogy works in the reverse direction, but imagine if you could start with a clean set of data and match it against your own data. That tends to be the way. And the second thing around third-party data is starting to enrich the knowledge, information that you can provide at somebody's fingertips in real time. This is exactly why my fifth point here, where we see OpenFin playing a massively useful role, is to connect things together. But I guess I'll talk about that one next, which is the idea of a real-time interoperating desktop. So as you're doing something, like time is of the essence. RBC does a phenomenal demo, actually, and what does it mean when a trader gets on a call or a salesperson gets on a call, and they're trying to stall and one time thinking about whatever it was, the football scores or something else, while they're trying to look something up in another system. Imagine if all of that happens in real time and everything is following along. This, again, was a dream in a twinkle in people's eyes. It's possible today, and there's going to be demos of OpenFin working with Tier1 and how that actually works. It's in production at RBC today. So clearly I'm a big OpenFin fan, otherwise I wouldn't be up here. So let me actually tell you that this particular slide, if you haven't taken a picture of it, it's too late because I'm going to skip to the next one. Because if you want to know more about this particular slide, which is best practices, I'm happy to share it with you. But I'm looking at the time over there, and I don't want to make this go any later because otherwise I'm standing between you and your next glass of wine or beer. But before I do that, I want to introduce Doug Christensen. Doug was COO of research at Barclays. He's based in our New York office. Doug is, and Doug, I may have to explain this analogy. There's a guy we have in Canada, his name is Wayne Gretzky. He's a hockey player. And the thing about Wayne Gretzky that kind of made Wayne kind of famous, and they kind of talk about it, is Wayne Gretzky would always skate to where the puck was going. So Doug is our Wayne Gretzky of capital markets. His job is my head of strategy to help us from the perspective of somebody who really understands the industry and is really plugged in to help us to define our way forward. Doug is actually going to tell you a little bit. We're going to show a really quick 2-minute video, and then I will try not to keep you from delay any further for beer and wine, etc. But thank you very much.
Thanks, Mark. We are going to do a brief video, and that's because Tier1 is that quick. So let me get this set up. And what we're going to show here is, a use case. And the use case is one of many. And in this particular instance, it is a trader. They're working off their trade blotter order management system. They've got their CRM interconnected through OpenFin, and everything is following along. In this particular case, the trader is been asked to, once he books the trade, instead of chatting it, the client's asked for him to call. So in this particular case, as the trade is done and our CRM follows along on the side panel, it brings up the same profile. And now the trader has the chance or opportunity to either use the dealer board to make the phone call and it's connected, or to use the dialer that's integrated within the system, one of the partners we have. And as Mark mentioned earlier, folks like Greenkey, we're starting to do some work with them to think about use cases. And in this particular case, it's voice to text, right? A trader is working at a pace that is very quick and rapid. They don't have time to multitask and type. So if we can do voice to text, pop a call report, log that interaction and that content. It gets stored automatically. And in the future, we can start using that information to start to populate in dashboards what I call insights and topics that are trending, right? And so there's so many different opportunities there. This is one use case, but we can see many more things that are applicable. And so as things are happening in real time, for a trader, there are dislocations in market. There are things that become topical and of interest, and you need to capitalize on them at that point in time. When there's dislocation, you can't wait till tomorrow. Coronavirus happens, you see a lot of conversations, and all of a sudden a linkage to the price in copper dropping. That's a moment in time, and they need to capitalize on it. So with our CRM, with interoperability, we're able to put the client at the center of everything we do and manage that in real time. And so I'll leave it there. We'll thank everybody for joining us. We're here in the booth, and if you'd like to talk to us about other use cases, we welcome the opportunity to speak with you. So thank you.